Over the last 15 days, I published one YouTube video every single day. And in this video, I want to show you what exactly I learned, what was the findings and insights so far on my 30-day journey. You know, this is sort of the halfway point. And these videos were raw, talking head, based unedited. There was no hyper editing tactics in there. They were just raw. And so the idea had to be very critical, and the distribution, the communication method that I used had to be very particular. And obviously I wasn't good at first, and I'm still learning, I'm still growing, but I just want to share some of the insights that I found. And so lesson number one is that repetition makes the camera disappear. Okay, and so at first, like your attention is pulled towards like how you look. You know, what is the background? What do I sound like? How confident do I appear? And it's diverted across all of these different things that don't actually matter. And so when you eliminate those in the repetition, when you put in the reps of actually making a YouTube video every single day for 15 days, 30 days, 90 days, however long you do it, your attention, you start freeing up mental bandwidth to the idea, because all of the other things don't necessarily matter. They become automatic. And that was one of the biggest unlocks for me so far in this journey, is that I really can unlock the idea. I can get rid of all the sound and the background noise or whatever, like the stuff that doesn't necessarily matter. It's things that are diverting my attention away from the idea itself. And so confidence on camera is not something that you have before you do this, before you create YouTube videos. It is something that it's a skill that's produced as you go. This is something that is accumulated through the repetitions. And lesson number two is that speaking comfortably and communicating clearly are two very different skills. And a little mental frame that I like to use is that, you know, I'm just gonna sit in front of the camera and I might not upload this. This might not hit the internet. Like, I sort of go into that frame because it reduces all the pressure. I'm just gonna record this, but I end up posting it anyway, right? Because it reduces the pressure and it makes me speak more confidently. Because I don't have this perception of like, oh, people are gonna judge this video. I don't know what they're gonna think, right? So that's the comfort side. But when you communicate clearly, that's an entirely different thing. They're two separate things. And so how do we resolve the comfort? And then how do we also make sure that we're communicating the idea effectively? Because you can speak comfortably, but still struggle to control the direction of the idea. And so the repetition itself gives you the comfort, but you still need the structure to control the idea. And so you could create something called like the argument map, where you have this initial question that you're going to answer throughout the video, or something that is unique or something you can uniquely talk about. And then you tie it into the answer, and then you have the mechanism, example, counter argument, the application, and then the conclusion. And so all of this is really just a way to answer the structure problem of the direction of the idea itself. And so lesson number three is that publishing teaches you faster than preparing. I could have spent these 15 days like researching how to get good at YouTube, but instead I took action. And that action produced evidence of things that I could improve. And so now I have 15 pieces of content that show me where I ramble, how I think, how I direct, and like what are filler words that I use? How confidently am I speaking now? Right? It's like, where was the key progression from video 2 to video 15 or video 14? What clicked? What changed in my presentation, my mannerisms, how I confidently show up? And then what still needs deliberate work? What do I need to continuously work on to, by end of day 30, be like way better than I am now? Right? So it's like, it gives you the recognition and the evidence of what you've already done well, but also what you need to improve. And so you have clear visibility on the things that you can work on, right? So you can see the levels above you and the path to get there. And so you can't think your way to becoming a better creator. You have to literally publish the work that exposes what you can't see yet. And so these videos that you put out aren't gonna be just content. It's gonna literally be evidence of things that you can work on and what you have already grown into, right? And it reveals your voice. And lesson number 4 was a really big one for me, because every single future video that I would like try to plan, it was like, what is the idea? What do I talk about? And so it's like, this is where I started developing like an idea engine, because ideas, like, you don't have to be novel. you can just elaborate on one thing that you've already said. And so, for example, for my other videos, like how I closed a $9,700 consulting client with a single Instagram carousel, and that alone, that idea, that topic, it literally spiderwebbed and opened up a ton of different ideas. It's like, how did I accumulate trust? That could be a video. How did I build the authority? That could be a video. How did I conduct the sales process, and what objections did I handle prior to closing that client? How did I actually close it? Did I have a sales call? Did I send them my offer doc and they closed without a sales call? Right? So it's like I can make so many different video ideas just from one core thing that happened. Right? You can basically extract many different observations which could alone be their own video ideas. So you never really run out of topics. You just need to think differently about the topic that you're already looking at. And lesson number 5 is that creating consistently clarifies what you actually think, right? And so this was one of the biggest unlocks for me, is that when I'm creating consistently on YouTube, and it's so different than Instagram, because Instagram's like 30, 60-second reels. YouTube, I'm sitting down for 8 minutes to 16 minutes with no teleprompter, no script. So how do I just process information? How do I get new thoughts into my brain that I can just elaborate on and go down a path? And the reason that I can do this is because I have strong ideas and foundations for those things that I could just go down and just elaborate on, right? Like there are so many different other branches of the tree, of that topic, that I can connect the idea to. And so that forces me to develop a strong foundation for my thinking. And then it clarifies what I actually believe to be true about this whole process, about creating ideas and elaborating on them. And is what I'm talking about, do I even believe this thing? And so it forces me to even share my own opinions about these topics, which is like one of the biggest unlocks for me in terms of this content journey. And it's one of the biggest lessons that I could give you. And the key idea here is that your voice is developed as you create content. So many people think that they need to develop their voice first so that they can show up on camera to be more authentic or confident or whatever attribute that you're thinking of. It's really just you develop the voice as you go. You don't develop it first and then be able to present that voice to the audience, right? It's like something that is accumulated over time. And so after posting 15 videos over 15 days, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I've just mastered YouTube. It's only 15 videos. But what I can do is share that I think about the process much differently now. The way I show up on camera is so much different. I don't think about the way it's positioned or the lighting. I'm literally wearing a hoodie. Like, what am I wearing? Right? It's like, I don't want to think about that stuff because it controls my mental bandwidth that I could have otherwise used to creating a better idea for the video so I can provide more value to you guys. And so I'll leave you with this. Stop trying to figure out everything before creating. The action of creating literally surfaces those answers. You find your voice, you get better at ideas, you develop a system, and your mental frameworks and connectivity ability all become stronger. And so your confidence increases, and the way you show up and present yourself and talk on camera just gets overall better. And so don't overthink it, just create. Hopefully this is helpful. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, guys.